Ladies and gentlemen, that's the wrong intro. Face front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Prize Podcast. I am your host, a Dutch angle Boingo rider, and with me, as always, in the bullpen.
Representing the people who haven't seen Forbidden Door yet, but you can see it with us later. The Vacuuminator is here.
We are doing this live right now, and if you are watching this at a later date, sorry you missed it, but after this podcast, we will be in my Discord server, the Boingo Collective, down in the description, and we are going to be showing Forbidden Door, and hey, you don't have to fucking pay for it, don't worry about it, it's on the download, we're good.
Yeah. Also, Buster isn't here this week because they died. So send your condolences to I don't fucking know at they never told me their address.
Buster died on the way to their home planet.
Yeah. R.I.P. We're doing this one in honor of them. I actually researched a lot of Muslim culture shit for this episode to make sure we got it right.
Buddy, only one person here researched something for this episode, and it's me, and it sure ain't fucking Muslim culture. Also, by the way, for people who might just be curious, yeah, no, my camera's just fucked this week. My stand is fucked, so it's at a Dutch angle this week.
We're doing it 2 hours later than we're supposed to. What do you want? Some shit's gonna be fucky.
Yeah, some shits are gonna be fucky. You know what shit wasn't fucky? What? This week of television, yo.
Yeah. I don't know, like...
Let's talk about Obi-Wan first, because I think that's a little bit more...
Okay, we're gonna talk about the thing that makes me happy.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi. It got a finale, and it wrapped up all its loose ends, and basically set the stage for the future.
Yeah,
the past.
Which is fucking New Hope. It's the same thing as the end of Revenge of the Sith, where there's very much Return of the King syndrome. It feels a little clunky, but like it does everything you kind of wanted. It hits all the cliff notes, and so I'm happy.
Yeah,
I am happy, and why can't you be happy with me?
Because some people just want to be right, and to be right is to be angry at things, because that's
and
easier.
They want to be upset that, oh no, I'm going to have to watch more Star Wars content in the future. It's extremely obvious that Reva's going to get a spin-off show. Boo fucking who.
I am so fucking tired of all the bad faith Star Wars criticisms of like, oh, just anything from the new trilogy, anything from the prequel trilogy, of just
anything after 1983 is bad.
And then you point out something good and they go like, no, that doesn't count. Why doesn't it count? Because I say it doesn't count. Well, fuck.
Because it happened after I lost my innocence, therefore it isn't innocent and pure like my Star Wars.
You know, there's this whole big thing of like, oh yeah, though the sequel trilogy will get their day just like the prequels, and the kids that grew up watching that are gonna love it and say it's good. And
but no, kids don't play with Star Wars toys anymore. Don't you remember that discussion back when Rise of Skywalker came out?
Oh.
That like, oh, Star Wars toys don't sell anymore, and watching ads of kids playing with Star Wars toys looks weird now. Yeah, maybe that's because you're not raising your kids correctly. Fuck you.
If a 3-year-old has a tablet, you're doing the job wrong.
Uh-huh.
Legit, I have thought about this. If I am ever a dad, you know the first electronic device they're going to get to play with? It's gonna be an NES.
I mean, my nephew is almost a year old, and he has scantily seen or heard of a tablet or a smartphone. I rarely use it in front of him, and if I do, it's when he's occupied with his toys, and I feel like I have a minute where I can just listen to him and know he's okay.
Basically, but my mindset is like, no, actually control what they get, and like, you don't just let your kid walk into a fucking McDonald's and eat everything they see.
Mhm. I mean, by all means, don't force your kids to like the same thing you
No.
liked when you were a kid, but also, like, fucking mediate the shit.
Like, goddamn, kid's not gonna see internet till they're fucking 10. And even then, it is going to be with a very, like, hey, I'm trusting you with this. You betray my trust, eh?
Mhm.
You know?
You're not getting a computer in your room until you're 15, and I know you need it.
I'd say 13. By that point in time, it'd be really useful to have a computer to do
Really,
homework.
you think the hormones are kicking in then now?
No, I'm just saying, like, 13 for homework and schoolwork.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd probably be a thing.
You dumbass. And even then, hey, guess what? If you know your way around computers, now, hey, now we're just two single dudes with no kids giving parent advice.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, technically, you could really. You don't have to give them like a laptop Windows computer. You could give them like a Chromebook and use parental controls.
uh
And I'm not saying like, oh, you need to be fucking super, like, no. You gotta have to actually have a conversation with your kids and know what they can handle. See, here's the thing. I was 9 and 8 years old when I watched Blade and The Mask and a bunch of R-rated movies because my mother knew I could handle them. She knew I could understand the story and that it's fiction and all this kind of stuff, and that I could handle it. Because she had
mhm.
a conversation with me. People don't want kids, they want fashion accessories.
Anyway, speaking of single men trying to get parenting advice, let's talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan
Uh,
Kenobi, like, when you first saw the trailers for this, you were thinking, oh man, this is gonna be Logan.
yeah, and to an extent, it kind of is, but it's a much more positive version of Logan.
Basically, to me, it's, oh wow, Obi-Wan got really depressed at the end of episode 3, but in episode 4 he's kind of jokey and jovial with Luke. He's like, hey, I may be an
It's,
old wise mentor.
it's me, your goofy Uncle Obi-Wan. Let's go on a space adventure.
Like, Luke says, hey, Ben, do you know Obi-Wan Kenobi? And he's like, know him. I am him. And it's just like, it's a gag, it's a joke,
Mhm.
you know? And like, yeah, you could have just like hand waved. It's like, yeah, he got over his shit, but like to actually see him basically get over his shit, it's a fun little story.
Yeah, and like that, like I think if anything, getting that scene that like finally explains the jump in the character and Obi-Wan's relationship to everything in the saga, from episode 3 to episode 4, that's in this episode, that confrontation with Vader and just that exchange of him apologizing to Anakin and Anakin going, bro, you didn't do this, I did this, this is my fault. Don't fucking blame me. Like, Vader wants to kill him in that moment, but he's also going, don't blame yourself for me wanting to kill you. I was a piece of shit to myself, and now I'm in this position.
I was a
And
piece of shit to myself, and now I'm a piece of shit to you.
yeah.
Um,
And Obi-Wan has to, in that moment, go, oh, the guy I knew is long gone. The guy I thought I knew is long gone.
yeah.
And in that moment, he calls him Darth. Like, he calls him Darth like it's a first name, as he does when they meet in episode 4.
And there's a lot of little elements that you could also see, like, this also informs why he doesn't tell Luke. It's just like, no, you're dead. Your dad's dead. He's not the same guy. Fuck him.
Yeah.
You gotta kill him. Why? Why can't he be saved? Cause I fought him, and he didn't want to be saved.
I told him he needed to get the high ground, and so he dug a hole and then threw the high ground at me. This man is merciless.
It doesn't necessarily make the original trilogy better, but it does inform like a contemporary understanding of it, and it's fun.
Yeah. Um, Not to mention, you give him that relationship with Leia, which I know everybody is starting to get a little sick and tired of. The middle-aged man gets a surrogate daughter that's super cute and has to grow up and sort of parent him a little bit. Cliche. I'm getting there too, but it works in this.
It's a cliche for a reason. It works.
Yeah.
Especially when you remember that a lot of fucking writers in Hollywood always turn into like middle-aged men who become dads, and they go like, "Oh wow, fatherhood."
The reason that trope resurged in the last 10 to 15 years is because nerds got old and they wanted to continue seeing themselves in media. The kids who grew up on the prequels are now my age or older, as in old enough to have their own fucking kids, to be dads, to still want to see themselves in their childhood Obi-Wan. And so the way you do that is you give him a cute little daughter to run around and have adventures with and have a big cathartic scene with at the end, which even I thought was maybe a little bit too much. Him basically telling her about her parents without telling her about her parents.
I think it's understandable. It also kind of showcases why Leia's a little bit more mature than Luke in the original trilogy. It's like she's had time to process this kind of information and internalize it and grow from it, while Luke has always been, I'm just a little farmhand Luke with my Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, and I got this crazy neighbor named Ben. You know?
Like, and then, I mean, on top of that, this also patches a hole for the sequel trilogy. Leia named her son Ben. Her lightsaber looks like Obi-Wan's. Why'd that happen? It's because she has a connection to Obi-Wan that we never knew about. There's a reason beyond just he's the guy she sent the distress signal to that she gets excited when she hears he's with the rescue party.
Yeah, here's the thing. You want to know something I think is the actual true genius of Star Wars? It's making a lot of fucking mistakes in the movies so that everybody can go like, "Oh wow, I can solve that problem. Let me solve that problem with a story and tell a really cool story." Oh yeah, that is cool.
It's providing opportunities for nerds to do what nerds do best, and that's fill in holes in stories with fucking headcanons and fan fiction.
Hey, why? Episode 3 happens. Hey, why do the clones just all turn on the Jedi with just an order? That doesn't make any sense. Dave Filoni. Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense because they didn't just turn. They were brainwashed. It's actually a horribly tragic event where nobody wanted to be involved.
They had a computer chip nobody knew about. One clone found out and tried to tell everybody, but he got fucking accidentally killed.
It's just like, oh wow, that makes that entire scene 10 times more tragic.
Yeah.
Why does Finn just like immediately tell Luke everything? Oh, it's because he's been waiting for this day, and he's just happy to have someone to talk to. You know, it's just a bunch of little things, and eventually we're gonna get that kind of stuff with the sequel trilogy.
We're starting to get it now, and I think we're gonna continue to get it. Like we've got the Cassian Andor show is next, and I think that's gonna build on some stuff we saw here, and it's probably gonna build into stuff for later movies and whatnot. Like the Marvelification of Star Wars is here, ladies and gentlemen, and you better fucking get with it.
And here's the thing. The Marvelification of Star Wars has always been a thing. It's just now that everyone's actually paying attention to it because it's TV shows and movies and not just in books.
Yeah, it's gone from this secret undercurrent that only the people who go to Star Wars Celebration every year know about to it's in your face every fucking week.
Yep. And look at Mandalorian. It's bridging details between 6 and 7.
Hey, Nightmare.
Hello, Nightmare. I can't see you in my chat yet. There you are.
Yeah. But no, there's that. I also really like that. Oh God, I had a thought when I was talking about the Andor show, and it's gone now.
Ah, well.
We're gonna get a Reva spinoff. I know it's not announced yet.
Yeah.
I know. Well, Acolyte. Acolyte might be secretly the Reva spinoff.
Maybe,
I don't.
maybe.
That's just a wild fan theory of mine, but like, I know we're getting a Reva spinoff given where they leave her here. And my pitch for it is literally just set it during the sequel trilogy, explain why the Inquisitors never came after Luke. Just have it be Reva picking off the Inquisitors one by one.
Yeah. That'd be fun. So overall, Obi-Wan show was pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked it. There were a couple rough spots. Not always the most exciting bit of television every week, but overall, it was what I wanted. And what I don't want is a season 2.
No, even though there has been one really good pitch for a season 2.
Well, oh, you talking about the one I sent you?
The Grievous pitch.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about that joke pitch that's just secretly the person describing episode 4.
No. General Grievous just hunts down Obi-Wan. He survived, and he's just like, I just want to kill you. Like, I don't have any grand things. I just want you to die, because fuck you.
You just do what they did with Darth Maul in Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yes.
All right.
But again...
well, if we're being fair, Maul evolved as a character a little bit. He found out about Sidious's plan, and he was like, oh, that's fucked. I'm going to try and stop that. And then he wasn't able to. And then he decided to try and kill Obi for fun.
Yeah. But hey, Obi-Wan, good. And people who were going like, oh man, the ending sucked and everything. Get your stick out of your ass.
Yeah.
It's fine. Stop. Just stop. Yeah. You're not.
We got a new hello there.
We got a new hello there.
We got Liam Neeson back in Star Wars. I found out yesterday that is actually him.
Hell yeah. Hey, guess what we also had to watch this week? Ms.Marvel, episode 3.
AKA the one where everybody gets a headache.
AKA the one we really wish we had Buster here to actually explain possible cultural connections that we don't see in the wedding, because we're white boys.
And other stuff, because there's a lot of mixing obscure nerd shit with cultural shit white boys don't know in this.
So first things first, we can just say this. The whole wedding sequence was beautiful. It looked really well done. I have no idea how accurate it is, but from just a television standpoint, it looks really cool.
It looked similar to the one in the comic, I'll say that. Although... yeah. I was very, for the first like 5 minutes, I was very, why is this happening now in the story? This feels like something you do in the penultimate episode or the final episode as like a wrap-up scene. But I understand why. They needed a big party for the Discount Eternals to crash, and they needed a big dramatic scene to have Kamala's family upset at her leading into the next episode.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold off on explaining this shit. Okay,
Okay. So first of all, let me describe this from the average person perspective. Because we were talking mad smack last week about like, oh, Kamala got pulled into that car at the end of the episode, and that lady's there. And she's supposedly related to her, and they're gonna bust open what this version of the powers is, and this is gonna be a make or break episode for people. So this episode opens, and they're just sitting her down at a dinner table and explaining it, and I'm like, no pomp, no circumstance. All right. I mean, we get a flashback, and we see what is very obviously a Kree hand having the bangle on it. But this lady is basically just like, yo, so here's the thing. Your grandma and I were like part of an interdimensional race from thousands of years ago, and we're trying to get back home. We haven't seen your grandma in a long time. Kamram's human, though. Don't worry about that. You can still fuck him if you want to. This guy's a weirdo. He's going to be like random comedy relief and fights and stuff. And we have special powers, and we don't look like we age all that much because we're the Discount Eternals, and we're gonna do a thing, and that's how you have superpowers because you're distantly related to us. Yay! And I'm just like, why not just say they're Kree? Why not just say all these people are Kree and that Kree don't age that fast in this universe?
Okay.
Take it away.
These people are known as clandestine.
That's the name they throw out. And they also say they're the jinn in Muslim myth, and that's apparently like a boogeyman Kamala was scared of when she was a little girl.
Okay. So I didn't know of clandestine when I was watching this. But I immediately picked up that that is such a specific thing that has to be a Marvel trademark, okay? That is such a specific name, it has to be something. So I looked it up on the Marvel fan wiki. And what do I fucking find but this? This is a comic.
No one has ever heard of this shit.
No one's ever heard of this shit. Okay?
This is fucking James Gunn putting fucking Sylvester Stallone as an obscure Guardians character in a movie level shit.
Buddy, no, this is more. This is more. Those Guardians have at least a well-loved comic book run from the 70s. These guys? 12 issues in the 90s and a smattering of appearances after that. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. They are not long-standing, well-beloved Marvel characters. No one gives a shit about these guys.
But I guarantee you they're getting a new mini announced as soon as this show's over.
Oh, you fucking bet. Either that or they're going to be completely redesigned.
I guarantee you, they're going to drive a dump truck of money up to G. Willow Wilson's house and they're going to be like, yo, make us Ms.Marvel and the Clandestines numbers 1 through 12.
Okay, so to explain the comic book Clandestine, in about 1100 A, no, BC. AD, no AD. No, BC. It's a fucking long time ago. This one dude named Adam, fucking is helping his parents thatch the roof on their house, and he falls off. And he gets fucking impaled by a scythe. And he lives. So everybody goes like, oh man, you gotta be destined for something. And then he grows up and he becomes a fucking warrior. He becomes a soldier, right? And then he goes and fights in the goddamn Crusades. And then he meets a fucking genie who has the hots for him and goes like, yo, you're immortal now. You can't die. And we gonna fuck every once in a while. And that's the origin of Clandestine.
That's it.
That's it. That's the origin. It's just one dude and a genie getting it on every once in a while. They have a kid, and when they become an adult, they have some powers.
They're not alternate dimensions.
No.
Dukes.
Technically,
they're not connected to the Jinn.
No, that's the Jinn. There is a Jinn. There is a Jinn. That's her mom.
Oh. But now in the MCU, they're part of the multiverse, and they inspired the Jinn myth.
Yes, and like...
There's not enough ancient alien shit in Marvel.
Oh yeah, Silver Surfer appears in this.
This is important. I was the most important looking character they could put in this.
Okay, so basically, these guys have powers, and they just go through a weird adventure, and they learn things about themselves, blah, blah, blah. Some weird things about these characters. They are very long-lived. They live for centuries. But they do age. They are not infinite youth. And technically, because they are born of a human and a djinn, they are all infertile. They can't have kids.
Oh.
So that's a weird technicality in the comics. This is no, none of this is in the movies. I can just tell you this.
Show.
None of this is movies, cinematic. That's what I'm talking about, bud.
Mm-hmm.
It's really slow healing, yeah, and boy, these are some hashtag characters.
Yeah, those are 90s ass designs.
Okay, the dude in red, Crimson Crusader. That is his name because he is a 13-year-old boy with superpowers. Of course, that's his superhero name.
He looks like Chris O'Donnell Robin.
Okay, here's the thing. You want to know something? Oh yeah, no. All their mom's a djinn. All of these are the whitest white people you were ever white.
Ah,
They are.
I was gonna say
They are.
The guy in the background just looks like a white Incredible Hulk.
Oh
and
no,
the girl.
He's not white. He's blue.
Just Jean Grey in a pink dress.
Okay. By the way, the big guy. Remember, they're all siblings. They're all brothers, but he kind of is like their caretaker, their uncle. He's called Wallop. That's his hero name, Wallop. Because he doesn't want to be a hero. He's just like, no, stop.
Wallop.
Wallop.
Was smack taken?
No, because you want to know his name? His real name's Wally. So they go like, oh, Wallop! It's perfect! And he's just like, you fucking dumbass kids. We're not superheroes. And then the other adults are like, yeah, but what if we were superheroes? That sounds fun.
This sounds like it could have been a great one-off animated movie, a la Big Hero 6.
It's... So their dad is named Adam, and he's up in space because one of his kids turns out to be evil, and he has to kill him, and he feels really guilty about it.
Has he met Adam Warlock?
Probably. Oh, dear.
I would like to see them fight, just so we can get the Let's Go Adam sucks chance.
Oh my god, I just had a thought. What if they retcon Adam Warlock to be this Adam, too?
Is what Jim Starlin would do.
Okay, so he had to kill his son, and he felt really guilty about it, so he asked his other son, who's a super genius, to build him, like, a space engine and a Volkswagen bus so he could go into space and die. But he doesn't die, so he's just asleep for, like, 60 years or 50, like... 13 years, because he hasn't seen the kids whatsoever, and they kind of like age normally until they get to adulthood, you know, so that it's okay. And so,
by the way, before we get too far away from him, we're in agreement that Adam Warlock has got to be the villain of Guardians 3, right?
You mean the Magus?
Because they set him up in a post-credit scene, and I mean, like, that's been the theme of those movies, is family shit. The first one's about dealing with your mom. The second one's about dealing with your dad. Third one, deal with your fucking kid. And Adam Warlock is just being birthed in that post-credit scene. It makes sense.
But basically, Silver Surfer shows up and goes like, hey, dude, you okay? And he goes like, yeah, I'm immortal. I don't want to be. Do you know a way to kill me? And he's like, maybe? I don't know.
Fucking Norton Rad out here just being a bro. You good, bro?
You good, literally, bro? That's what the scene's like. You okay, man? And then then he gets like a fucking psychic blast from his daughter, and he goes like, oh shit, my kids are in danger. Can you fucking take me to Earth? And he's like, yeah, man, I can give you a ride to Earth. So he shows up to Earth. And he's here, and like the two kids have never met this guy, and they're going like, who the fuck is this guy? Oh, he's your dad. You're our dad? Yeah, I'm your dad. I'm weird, cold, and immortal, and like I can't form human connections much anymore, but yeah, I'm your dad. Wow, this sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Damn.
And like, they get in trouble one time, and their caretaker goes like, "You know what? I'm gonna separate you two, and you're gonna live in different places, so your powers don't activate." And they go like, "Yeah, fuck this." And so they fucking fly to New York because they're in London. They're in fucking England. That's where they live. They're all English. So remember, all of these motherfuckers are speaking with goddamn English accents.
The inspiration for Kamala Khan's expanded family in the MCU, everybody.
Okay, okay. So they go to fucking New York. They get roughed up by a couple of goons, and then Spider-Man shows up and goes like, "Hey, yo, I'm Spider-Man." And the two kids
up into New York, and you're a superhero. I'm the welcome package.
and no, like that's literally the last page of one of the books, and the two kids just look up at him and go like, "Amazing, spectacular," and it's just like, "God damn it, fucking editorial, you hacks."
All right. I think we've had enough of this.
Dear
I think
God, it is.
Well, we need to close out with the real and proper question that fits the thematic structure of our show. We need to place bets on how soon until Sal makes a back issues on this.
I guarantee you, it's going to be last episode of Ms.Marvel. He is going to do it.
He's gonna upend the schedule.
Because here's the thing. It is only 8 issues. It is only 8 issues that is relevant to the story. Because after
this is the only time they'll ever be search engine optimized.
And here's the thing, because after those 8 issues is like something in a completely different universe. That's what the creator said. Like that's not canon anymore. It's a different multiverse. So maybe he'll talk about it. I don't know. Okay. With all that being said, none of that's going to happen in the movie in Ms.Marvel. None of it.
They're going to be they're confirmed the villains of this show now. So they're gonna get beaten up at the end of this, and then Damage Control's gonna pick them up and take them to a storage facility somewhere, and we might never see them again.
The only thing
I gotta say, I've got a real bug up my butt about the way Damage Control has been treated in like some of the most recent projects where they're just replacement Shield.
Yeah.
That's not Damage Control. Damage Control doesn't do that. And like, you just introduced Sword in WandaVision. Why not use Sword?
Because that's extraterrestrial.
I don't know that this isn't extraterrestrial yet.
I know, but that's the state. It's not extraterrestrial in MCU. It's superhuman weapons.
Like hell, I know
and it would be applicable.
I know Norman doesn't exist in this universe, we've confirmed. But you could just say Hammer is a thing now.
Hammer's always been you know what would be great? Bring fucking Hammer back and make it Hammer.
Yeah, Justin Hammer got out of jail and took over Nick Fury's job.
But this episode of Ms.Marvel was fun. It was nice.
Okay.
It was okay. God damn it, you fuckheads making us goddamn read clandestine. This would be the fact to really just showcase it to you, so you truly understand. Cause like, I'm a Marvel encyclopedia. You expect me to know this shit. This is the equivalent of like the new hot DC show just name dropping those guys that drink fucking spine fluid.
Almost like that happened.
Has that happened?
I thought you were talking about the butterflies in Peacemaker.
No, I'm talking about the dudes from the 90s who literally drink spinal fluid.
Oh, those guys. Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
I want a DC show that earnestly brings in the Metal Man. Let's do that.
Hell yeah.
Let's get them in the next season of Doom Patrol.
That'd be fun. Jesus fucking Christ. I have no idea where the show's going now.
Yeah, that's that's fucking a character who died in the 40s, dying in the teens, a Dragon Knight level shit.
Uh, hey, you want to talk about some comic news?
I guess we could. I guess we
Hey,
could do that on our comic book show.
John Moxley compares Forbidden Door, the pay-per-view, to a Marvel DC crossover in the latest interview with his wife.
Yeah, I literally put this in here just so we could say again, everybody, if you're not already in Boingo's Discord server, go join Boingo's Discord server and come watch AEW Cross New Japan, the Forbidden Door pay-per-view wrestling show with us after this stream. Because wrestling and comics are literally the same thing, and it's great to see more and more people acknowledge that. Like John Moxley, who has to be one of like the most doodly dude mans in the world, in my opinion. And in this interview with his wife, he just admitted like, yeah, because I have a Kindle and it's incredibly inexpensive and easy now, I just read comic books in the airport all the time, and I love it because
Oh
it's the
yeah,
same shit as wrestling.
it's just wrestling, but like bigger and dumber.
Yeah. Like you even have gimmick changes, man. Like how Dick Grayson went from being Robin to Nightwing.
Yeah,
And I
no.
was like, my dude, I love you. Be my dad.
But yeah, no. John Moxleton's cool.
And he's in the main event tonight. He's going to be going for the interim AEW World Championship against the John Cena of Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I also like how he's also the Bret Hart of Japan.
Yeah.
But in other news, Marvel celebrates Miracle Man's 40th anniversary of the new series by Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham. I'm pretty sure this is continuing the story. This is gonna finish it up.
Yeah, this is supposed to be following up on their original run and wrapping it up, but it's also playing off of that tease that was in Timeless. So I'm I'm not a Miracle Man fan. I haven't read any Miracle Man. I know it's big and important, and I do intend to read it at some point. But like, just as a creative person, I am a little bit concerned because I'm like, well, if it's following up on Timeless, is it really going to be the ending they always intended? Because Gaiman said he's had the notes of what he wants to do sitting in a drawer since the series got canceled. So is he just going to do that and ignore the Timeless tease? Is he going to have to tie it in? Is he changing his story? What's going on?
I'm not quite sure, but I do think it'll be. I think Gaiman can handle it. I think Gaiman can figure out a way to like thread the needle. You know.
And at the very least, it'll be new comics written by Neil Gaiman. And how cool is that?
Uh. Hey, you want to talk about a thing that's going to be an action figure one day? They made a Dinosaur Spider-Man.
This this is going to be in those new Edge of Spider-Verse books that are coming in a few more months because of the 60th anniversary.
Yeah.
You're right. This is going to be a fucking Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Or maybe a deluxe release. I don't know if they could do this as a Build-A-Figure.
I don't know.
They'd have
Either
to
way,
really shove that T-Rex torso in one of the boxes.
either way, it is it's just a dumb action figure.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
It's a thing. It's happening.
I guess Wayne Family Adventures has been doing really well because they're announcing Red Hood and Zatanna webtoons.
Yeah, apparently there was also another webtoon that has been going for a minute that's DC. I don't remember what. Let me check this fucking article real quick. Okay, there's been a Vixen webtoon going for a few months now. I don't fucking know. I haven't read that. I don't give a fuck about Vixen unless it's in the Justice League cartoon. But we are getting Zatanna and the Ripper and Red Hood : Outlaws. So essentially what these are going to be is Zatanna and John Constantine get sent back in time and they have to solve the mystery of Jack the Ripper.
Oh,
And
you
then
know who should also be in that book? Gotham
What?
by Gaslight.
Yeah, that'd be neat. connected to the main universe. And then Red Hood Outlaws is just Red Hood being a mercenary and killing various DC villains, I guess. Who gives a shit? Red Hood's a dumb character. Anyway, oh no, I forgot to send you. I did read a bunch of Wayne Family Adventures today. That should be in the slideshow.
You can just bring them up whenever you get really frustrated.
All right. But no, like these aren't terrible pitches as these characters go, but they're not things that incredibly excite me. The thing is, Zatanna is one of those characters where it's like I like her, but I don't necessarily want to read a Zatanna comic, especially like a weird time travel Zatanna comic. I want to read Zatanna showing up in other people's books and helping.
I will say this: the art for Zatanna looked adorable.
Oh yeah, that's good Zatanna art. I do agree.
Hey, guess what? Jason
What?
Aaron consulted on Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
They're actually talking to the writers.
They did it.
Did he get paid for it? I don't know, but they talked to him.
Yeah, just like they talked to Jim Starlin for Infinity War, and then they disregarded everything he did with Thanos in favor of doing something thematically similar.
Yeah, I guarantee you that he probably disliked a lot of that.
Yeah, but you're going to do Adam Warlock in the sequel, right? Sure. Don't let him see the time travel notes.
Hey, they're making a Ric Flair comic.
Yeah, Ric Flair himself and some guy I've never heard of, James Halleck, are going to be writing a comic called Codename Ric Flair, which is essentially, what if after the plane crash, instead of going back to wrestling, Ric Flair became a secret agent?
Next piece of news.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what?
Is it toys yet?
Yeah, Marvel Legends X-Men Retro Apocalypse.
Yeah, this weirded a lot of people out because, like, this is Cartoon Colors Apocalypse. But it's not coming in the cartoon collection packaging, and he doesn't have the cell shading. So, like, what's going on here, guys?
This may have just been, like, a thing that was planned before that line got, like, solidified, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it's very possible we could still get this under that cartoon line. It's just like they're trying to get 2 bites out of the same apple as it goes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Either way,
that being said, I don't give a shit about this. I don't like this look. Give me the X of Swords look already, damn it.
You want your Apocalypse being a sad dad, or you don't want him?
Yeah. I know there's a Build-A-Figure in a deluxe that looks like he did in the 90s, but I don't give a shit.
We got Arkham Knight Scarecrow coming from McFarlane.
Yeah. These are... What kind of exclusives are these again? Let me open these on my own window. These are Gold Label, exclusive to McFarlane Toys Store.com. And it's essentially just weird color schemes for people who like to collect for completionist's sake. I think the Scarecrow one looks kind of cool. I like the yellow highlights, especially how they kind of highlighted the mask within the hood. The Red Hood just looks dumb.
He looks like a gummy.
Yeah, he looks like a freaking muscle figure.
You can't see his eyes either.
Yeah, it's not great.
Hey, guess what? Tech on Avengers got some repaints. This one's Venom.
Apparently, this is actually a thing in the story. We stopped reading that book, but apparently, at some point, the Venom symbiote shows up and gets on Wolverine. And this is what his armor looks like after that.
I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks like a cool toy. I like that they actually went to the trouble of sculpting a new head and arms and shoulder pieces, but I haven't bought any of this line yet. I'm not gonna buy this one.
Yeah. That comic did its job. It's made some cool looking action figures. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Tamashii Nations Tokyo 2022. We got a bunch of fucking figures from there.
Yeah, there was. For those of you who don't know, this is basically the trade show that Bandai does specifically for their high-end stuff every year. Although they haven't done it in a few years because there was a thing happening. There's a thing happening that stopped this from happening. But they did it again this year, and we got to see their The Batman.
Yeah, it looks really
Uh,
good.
who seems to only be getting a Western release right now because you look at that nameplate and it says display only, which is what they do for items that aren't yet confirmed for a release, that are still in the prototype stage. But we have solicitations for it here in America, which is really interesting.
Hmm.
Similarly, the Moff Gideon in that Star Wars display says display only. And we have all the other figures in that display. So no idea what's happening with him.
Yeah, here's some
But we
tech
get to,
on.
yeah, more tech on Avengers is happening.
Then we got Let There Be Carnage, Venom.
Yeah, who just looks like a bunch of turds with joints, doesn't he?
He looks fine. He looks accurate. He looks to accurately represent what that Venom looks like.
The design looks good in CGI. I've just never cared for how it looks as an action figure. I didn't like the look of the Marvel Legend. I don't like this. Although weirdly, I like the Marvel Legend when it's made a comic book version of Venom, because that's a two-pack that's happening that I'm probably gonna get.
Yeah.
Also display only. So
We
we
got
don't know if any of this shit's coming out.
we got a statue of. Oh no! This is a figure of Purunga.
It's Dragon Ball shit, right?
Purunga is the dragon of Namek.
Okay. Because Figuarts Dragon Ball is like a cottage industry unto itself now.
Basically, the way you got to think about it is Namekians are an alien race. They can create Dragon Balls. A
Uh-huh.
Namekian came to Earth and he made Dragon Ball, so there's an Earth dragon called Shenron. However, the Namekians on the planet Namek have their own Dragon Ball, so they made a dragon, and his name is Purunga. That's this dragon.
Hmm. All right. Because I know Figuarts Shenron is already a thing. I think that came out in like 16, 17.
But he's a big, beefy dragon, and he can grant 3 wishes, while Shenron can only grant 1.
Oh.
But also that's Dende, who's another character in Dragon Ball. He's doing the summoning. Purunga and Dende luminous. Oh, it also glows. That's neat. Oh, is this from?
Figuarts Squid Game is happening, everybody.
I mean, it's bound to happen.
I mean, these all say display only at the moment, but they also said you're going to hear more about these at another show that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean it's popular. Why not make figures out of them?
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
some good.
They'll maybe make good army builders for figure photography of other characters.
Then we have these boys, which I think we were both excited for looking at. We got some Mayfex Spider-Man.
Mayfex is re-releasing their Spider-Man figure now in classic colors. The only thing that's different about this is it won't be coming with the unmasked head sculpt, and they changed the shoulders. The shoulders now have the sculpting that goes more inwards towards the top, so you can see more blue. And it's also coming out very soon. Mayfex usually solicits their stuff way out, and it gets delayed and delayed and delayed because they want to make sure it's just right before they put it out. This is coming out in October, which is fairly soon for them.
Yeah.
So I think this is like a budget, just pump it out to give people something that will make them happy while we're working on other shit kind of release.
And then we got Scarlet Spider.
Yeah, who also doesn't have an unmasked head sculpt, but I kind of don't mind it because it's just such a beautifully simplistic looking figure. And Mayfex has proven on their Into the Spider-Verse figures that they're really good at soft goods. So I took one look at this thing, and whereas I have had Marvel Legends Scarlet Spider on my wants list for the longest time, swapped it out for this. I'm definitely going to get this at some point.
It looks really good. Couple different heads though. You got some spiky, and you got some angry eyes, and you got some calm eyes.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Probably my favorite solicitations of the week, as Mayfix usually is when they drop stuff.
And hey, guess what? All you fucking hipsters from the year 2010, before the movie came out, they're making Scott Pilgrim figures.
Yeah, these are apparently going to be like a not extremely limited, but like made to order run from an independent creator whose Facebook page is actually where we're getting this from. It wasn't put up by any news sites, but they're up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. And they look to be vinyl figures with ball joints at the head and very limited arm articulation. I don't see any joints in those legs. And they do come with a fair amount of accessories, but they're $40 a pop. So, like,
for a limited run thing, I can understand though.
Bit of a rough sell, but as a toy person, I understand why it's that way.
Yeah, they look cute.
And if anything, it's the best Scott Pilgrim figures we've gotten since the movie hype.
Yeah.
And those figures are now impossible to find.
And for the last bit of news, of course Hot Toys is getting on this Thor news. Thor, Love and Thunder. We got fucking Thor.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is like the deluxe full package final power-up movie Battle Boy.
Very possible.
Look at all those lightning effects. Look at that Hemsworth likeness. Look at those swappable parts and that big fucking axe.
Yep, certainly a hot toy.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good. Like, what can we fucking say?
Real quick, you got plans with Snowcone for yet?
Not solidified, but I need to talk to him about it.
Yeah, you better go poke his butthole after this.
Yeah, I'll go poke his butt.
But that's the news.
That's the news. That's the news. That's all of it. Hey.
Hey.
Do you want to talk about some comics in our comic book show?
Since you don't have a slide for it, should I just go into Wayne Family Adventures now?
Yeah, just talk about it.
Alright. So, opening it up on another tab real quick. I read episodes 34 through 44 is the latest one that released on the 22nd.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna kind of blitz through these real quick. 34 is a story called Recovery, which is just Bruce is injured real bad and he wants to do work and everybody keeps stopping him from doing work and making him have bed rest, and it's very cute and funny. Then we have GCPD, which is Jim Gordon and Renee Montoya, Jesus, reminiscing about their encounters and their perspectives on the various Robins as they watch a new guy try to deal with Damian. Which is real good. I like that one a lot. Especially because just like flashback to the first time Jim met Dick, Batman. I believe that Freeze is responsible for Gordon. I'm sorry, but are we really not going to talk about him? And then in the background, Dick is just flipping around. Hey, look, I'm an acrobat. Get it? Because it's like a bat? He's with me. And then Batman just goes, he's with me. Gordon, I may have a few follow-up questions.
Why is he with you?
Then we have a two-parter called Belonging, which is basically the Stephanie Brown version of that Cassandra Cain two-parter I really liked last time. And it's pretty good, but it doesn't have as many like, oh yeah, that's getting to the heart of the character moments. My favorite moment is actually from the very end of it, where like Stephanie runs into Bruce after she's gone through all her shit, and as like a final character affirmation, he gives her a little speech about sort of his perspective on Batman and sidekicks. You know, when I started down this path, I created Batman as a symbol. I needed him to make my enemies afraid, to bring hope that things could be better. I needed him to show Gotham that justice still existed. But a symbol is perfect, and people aren't. No one can live up to those ideals all the time. Not even us. Not even me. We just do the best we can, and your best is more than good enough.
Aww.
Yeah. Then there's SOS, which is probably the one that had me laughing the most in this batch, because Alfred is away on vacation, and Bruce, Damien, and Duke are about to go to a fancy function, and they can't figure out how to tie a tie. So they call the Justice League. And it goes from Superman thinking there's a massive crisis and being surprised, and then trying to explain it, and not being able to explain it to them. And Batman's like, "You have to wear a tie for work every day. How do you not know this?" And he's like, "I use a clip on." Flash tries to explain it. Green Lantern tries to explain it with a construct. Green Arrow fucking goes, "Why don't you just ask the butler? He's out of town." Oh, sorry. Get it? Because he's also a rich person. And then finally, Wonder Woman just comes in and goes, "Why don't you just not wear a tie? What are they gonna do? Kick the richest man in Gotham out of their party?" And everyone's just like, "Oh, oh, oh." And then the last panel is Damien hugging Alfred as he walks in the door a few days later. Never leave again.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh, then we have a issue called Secret Identity, which is about Duke trying to get comfortable with having to hide things from people, and just like jokey jokes about making excuses and stuff for having to run out and not. And there's also a great moment where Dick comes up with like this complicated, elaborate plan of how he could fake an injury to make people believe that, like, oh, when he's doing superhero stuff, he's going to rehab. But you would have to actually commit to some rehab, in case people ask. For how long? I don't know, like a year? A year? I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna lie to people. I'm just gonna go back to lying. Thing. And then he's like, "I guess that's fine. Fine." And then I forget, I think the third person is supposed to be Bronze Tiger. They never say his name. But the third person is like, "It's okay, Tim." And Tim goes, "My plans are good plans." And I'm like, yes, that is Tim Drake's character. I'm fine with him being bi, but never forget Tim Drake did have a character before he was bi, and that's that he was the OCD guy who overplanned everything and was also a bit of a Batman fanboy. Then we get a two-parter about Tim Drake being bi, because it was the beginning of Pride Month.
Yeah.
And it's essentially just, he has a bit of a kerfuffle about moving forward with his boyfriend during a date, and then he goes and talks to Batwoman about it, and she basically gives him some big sister advice, and then
big gay sister advice.
Yeah, and then he gets over it. Then we have Unbelievable, which is the latest story from this series to go viral, which is Batman's walking around the Watchtower in a cast and crutches, and everybody's just like, "What happened?" And he's like, "It's nothing." And Green Lantern goes, "Oh man, that must have been some fight." And then a story spreads through the Watchtower that he got in a massive knockdown, drag-out fight with the Joker, Killer Croc, and like a couple other villains. And like there's like a bit where after the story has changed a couple times, Aquaman is talking to Hawkgirl, and he's like, he's lucky to have made it out with the leg. Killer Croc almost bit it clean off. And then Superman and Wonder Woman come up and are like, "Okay, so what actually happened?" And he's like, it's nothing. I'll heal." No, what happened? They're saying that the Riddler, Bane, Joker, and Killer Croc all attacked you at once. And then he goes, and we flash back. The mansion is empty. He's on the second floor. Nobody's around. So he hops on a skateboard and skates down to the stairs, and he goes, "I still got it." And then he trips and falls down the stairs.
See, here's the thing. My immediate brain was like, he's just going to jump down from the second story because no one's around to tell him no.
Yeah. But then it cuts back, and he's just like, yes, that's what happened. I was attacked. Yes, it was all of them. They all attacked me. It's fine. And Wonder Woman's like, "All right, if you say so." Then we have detective work, which is basically Stephanie Brown confronting all the boys and being like, "Someone ate my sandwich. One of you motherfuckers ate my sandwich, and I'm going to find out who it is." And Ace is right there, and I'm like, oh, it's Ace. Ace ate the sandwich, and we're gonna find out that that's gonna be the joke, that she's too dense to realize it was the dog. But then they rule out Ace, and they rule out Damien because Damien's a vegetarian. And she's like, I didn't even call him in because he's a vegetarian. And I'm like, okay. And then they go through the house and they track the sandwich to like several different rooms, and she starts ruling out people. And then the end of it is just Damien comes in and he goes, will you guys be quiet? I'm trying to paint in here. Also, Brown, I put your sandwich in the fridge because I didn't want it to go bad.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it's good. Uh, then we have Ransom, the latest story, which is Tim Drake has been kidnapped and he's incredibly bored because he can't just set himself free because that would blow his cover, but also he has to wait for somebody to come. And he's like, all right, they just put in the ransom call. Somebody will come soon. And then, like, we see a couple hours pass and he's like, oh, God, finally. Red Hood shows up and he's like, all right, everybody, nobody move. And the robbers, the kidnappers are like, how did you find us? And he's like, you made every mistake in the book. And he lists out all their mistakes. Well, in the background, we see Tim just like slowly untying himself and getting into the windowsill. And then he's like, guys, how did this happen? Why are you kidnapping people? What's going on? Times are tough, man. And he's like, all right, yeah, I get that. And I mean, like, don't beat yourselves up too much. You did kidnap one of the richest targets in Gotham. You got that right. But I'm going to have to knock you out now because, and just in the background, you just see Tim's just, like, really annoyed. He's like, this is taking way too fucking long. I've got homework to do. And and Jason goes, I'm going to have to knock you guys out now. The police will be here for you in a bit. And they're like, what? And he just hits them all in the head with the butt of his gun. And then he climbs out the window, and Jason's there just, like, staring daggers into him, and he's like, what? I thought that went well. And Tim just jumps, and he's like, Tim, what? And that's the end of it.
God damn it. That's good.
Yeah, I love Wayne Family Adventures. Like, I stockpile this shit because when days like Friday happened, I need just, like, this massive dose of serotonin and wholesome superhero shit to make me feel better.
I mean, realistically, all you need to do is add a little bit more action and adventure, and that'd be the perfect Batman story.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guess what?
What?
I read Knights of X issue 3.
Yeah, I dropped this book.
Yeah, no, I saw you drop this book. Okay, issue starts off with basically Saturnine and in Merlin's daughter talking to Shogo the dragon, and they're going like, hey, one of your friends is gonna die, and it's gonna suck, but you gotta pay attention, because that's how stories work. And they're fighting the fucking magic sentinels, and all this kind of stuff, all the while Betsy and her team are dealing with the vampires, trying to talk to Death. And they get to Death, and he's like, all right, cool, I'm not going with you right now, just because, like, I got things I need to do. But here, let me give you some information so you can, like, start to do things, so you can figure things out. All right, cool. And then they get back to the big fight. And all the while, the big thing they're trying to do is save Mad Jim Jaspers, who they're about to execute. So they're going like, oh, we can't let Mad Jim Jaspers die. It's like, he's too powerful, he's still a mutant, we gotta save him, all that kind of stuff. So they're doing this whole big fight, they're doing all this big thing. And all throughout the book, Richter's going like, in order to do what we need to accomplish, there needs to be like a significant sacrifice. There needs to be a sacrifice. And since I have a connection to Apocalypse, I should be the one to make a sacrifice. And Shatterstar's going like, yeah, but no, I'll miss you, and so really I'll be the one sacrificing, and all this kind of stuff. And they're just going like, yeah, but we're in another world, and if we come back, we'll just be different. It's not like we'll be bad, it's just different. We'll be us, but it's, you know, that kind of thing. And the whole time they're just fighting, and then fucking Gambit just does Gambit fucking bullshit and tries to do all the things, and he gets fucking ganked. And remember, he's using tarot cards now, and he drops the death card, which means change. So Gambit's dead, and will come back, and they're doing a little refresh on Gambit.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's not too drastic. I don't want Gambit to change too much.
I mean, Gambit has an insane amount of fangirls, so you don't want to piss them off.
Fanboys too.
It's true.
I think honestly, the thing they're gonna do is just restore his original power level.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, Gambit lobotomized himself to have less power.
Oh yeah.
Hey, tell me about Nightwing.
All right, Nightwing is book that I think a lot of people probably needed this week because they did some stuff, and we're gonna get into it as soon as I can pull it up on my phone here.
In the book?
Yeah, because it does pick up right where the last issue left off with Heartless confronting Blockbuster, and he's basically just like, "Hey, we should work together. We'd be good at stuff. We could totally beat him up." And he's like, "What the fuck makes you think I would want to work with you? You weird crazy man who steals people's hearts. You're a weird fucker. I don't work with weird fuckers." He's like, "Well, you're a weird fucker." And so then they fight. And Blockbuster throws Heartless out of a window, and that's the end of the scene. Then we cut to later that day where Dick is like cleaning the Alfred statue because remember it got graffitied in the last issue. And then the cops show up and chase him off. And then we cut to later that day. Oh no, he goes back to Batgirl HQ, which is where he's staying right now because his apartment got blown up. And he brings Barbara breakfast, and they're like chatting, and she's like, "Hey, I got the footage last night." He's like, "You got the faces of all the attackers? Yeah, and you ID'd them? Yeah. Well, let me see." And he looks at it, and he's like, "This is, I mean, it's terrible, but it's also great. You're incredible. I love you." And then there's a panel where they're both just like,
"Oh, you said the words."
Yeah. And there's an awkward moment of like, "Look, I know that was supposed to be a bigger moment. I'm sorry." And she's like, "Are you really apologizing for saying that you love me?" And he's like, "Ah." And then his half sister calls and says, "Yo, there's shit happening at your park. You might want to come." And then we see that basically the entire police department is there, not really harassing everybody, but just like intimidating everybody, doing the kind of shit that, like, if you watch John Oliver's stuff about John Oliver's thing on school police, it's that kind of shit. And Dick shows up and he's like, "Hey, I didn't ask for this. This is technically my private property. You guys need to leave." And the chief of police is like, "Are you really going to argue with the police department? Do you want to get into this fight, Mr. Grayson?" And he's like, "It's funny you should ask." And then all the news crews pull up and they interview the chief of police. There's a press conference, and Dick confronts him again and basically reiterates the same points and goes, "And oh yeah, one more thing. Why were you guys here last night?" "What? We weren't here last night." "Yeah, you were the guys. You were here causing the disturbance last night. That is the reason you say you need to be here today." And then everyone's phone pings, and they pull it up, and it's the footage from Oracle with the IDing that everyone that Nightwing fought the previous night that was like trashing the place and graffitiing the statue was a cop. Yeah. And he's just, and the chief of police is just like, "Oh, we're getting the fuck out of here." and Dick's like, "Yeah, I'm a badass." And that's pretty much the end of the issue. We then get a scene of Heartless going back to his HQ, and a guy in a suit being like, "Yeah, I know it hurts, but you'll be fine. I'm going to repair you. You just need a new heart." And then we see that, like, Heartless is changing out his heart. He's using them like batteries. He has thousands of the fucking things that he's probably stolen from people.
That's a little messed up.
Yeah. But overall, really good issue of Nightwing.
Hell yeah. Hey, guess what we both read?
What did we both read?
I pressed the wrong button. We both read X-Men issue number 12.
Yeah. And I get the feeling that we have very different perspectives on this issue because the whole time I was just like, this is wrap up. This is wrap up for a run and a team that I've only been here for like the last 5 seconds.
Yeah. Because we're doing a Hellfire Gala, they're changing up the team. Honestly, I don't mind having a 12 run issue where it's just like you have 12 issues, just tell a fun X-Men story. It is a breath of fresh air.
I did like all the Ben Urich scenes, but that's just because I really like Ben Urich.
Yeah, basically, Cyclops and Sync go like, hey, Ben, we didn't mean to do this. It was miscommunication, but we eliminated your memory. We don't want that, so here's all the information you had already found, plus context. You okay, Ben? And he's like, it's a little fucked up that you erased my memory, but I appreciate you coming clean with it and telling me this information. And it's like, all right, cool.
Ben Urich's a fucking solid guy. Never forget, Ben Urich is the guy who found out Daredevil's identity and was like, I could write an amazing expose and win a Pulitzer, but it'd be a really shitty thing for me to do, and he probably wouldn't be able to save people anymore, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, and basically Ben Urich goes like, you do realize I'm going to write this story. It's going to make your lives a little bit worse. And they just look like, buddy, we're mutants. Our lives, what's new? Mm-hmm. Which is a great scene.
So now the entire world knows about the resurrection protocols.
They don't know the entirety of it. They just know that X-Men can come back. Mm-hmm. They don't know like the ins and outs that we know. And the X-Men basically defeat Cordyceps Jones.
Hooray!
It's fun. It's just a little bit of a wrap up. It's like, okay, cool. They fight Cordyceps Jones in a fun, unique way. They save the day.
And now Sinister is like a big fucking problem on multiple fronts, my dude.
Because now there's a mutant Sinister who's part of the mutant like culture and everything. And now there's like a supposedly original Sinister who's still human and is
and a massive racist.
Like literally he thinks mutant kind is like a cancer on Earth. And he's teaming up with MODOK and Orcus and all them. It's just like... Mm. And they draw him in shadow a lot. So he looks like he's in black. And they give him a red armband. And you're going like, okay, I see what you're doing there. And basically there's just like a little fight near the end where all the X-Men are going like, hey, so the vote's coming up, and we may not be an X-Men team anymore. Are you guys okay with that? And some of them were like, hey, if I'm still an X-Men, I'm down for it, and I want to keep doing it. But if Krakoa says no, you know what? My life continues, and I can do things. Which is a really mature way of looking at all this. And, like, Sunfire goes like, yo, if I'm not an X-Men, I can go to Arakko. I could really make a difference up there. And it's like, hell yeah. A lot of fun little character development. Yeah, this is really good.
It's an alright issue.
Yeah. It'd probably be a lot bit more impactful if you read it from the beginning.
Yeah.
But this X-Men book was really just fun, episodic, very breezy.
But I think we can both agree. It was either I jump into current or I was never going to catch up in time for this era.
Yeah. But overall, good book. Hellfire Gala's next.
Let's fucking go?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure.
We both read Batman the Knight.
I liked this issue a lot. This felt like good getting the character to where he needs to be for continuity stuff. This is fucking like this comic turning into the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus show of Batman stories.
If I may say this real quick, this fully legitimizes Batman's dislike of guns.
Yeah.
Like, there, you can understand why he wouldn't want to use guns from his origin, but, like, this makes you go, like, oh, this is why he absolutely despises guns.
Yeah, this is a valid... And, like, here's the thing. I don't necessarily agree with that. My Batman is a Batman that's like, I see the appeal of guns. I can get why people want... I'm a rich
on a
guy, so
personal
of course
level.
I have a gun collection.
He's on a personal level, that's what
I would not use a gun. I would not use a gun. It's not a thing I can do. It's not a thing I actively plan to do. But in the moment, if it's the only choice I have, that's my Batman. But a Batman who absolutely despises guns and sees them as the worst thing ever, also a valid take. And I think they do a really good argument for it here.
Here's the thing. I can see a Batman that despises guns still reaching for a gun if that's the only option he has. And just as soon as the problem's gone, he throws it the fuck away and goes, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of thing.
You know?
Like, people rag on Batman Gotham Knight, that animated film, all the time. I love the fucking, what's it called? The Deadshot short in that. Because Bruce has this whole speech in the beginning of it where... And really, Alfred shouldn't be the one asking him this, but Alfred is like, Master Wayne, you have a gun collection? And he's like, of course I have a gun collection. I'm a rich person. Of course I understand the appeal of guns, Alfred. Just because I choose not to use them doesn't mean I don't get it and I don't buy into it a little bit for the persona of Bruce Wayne.
But basically, Bruce and his buddy are being trained by a former Swiss master marksman in the art of shooting things really, really good.
Yeah.
But then his friend shoots a deer in the neck, and the guy goes like, buddy, I have told you not to do that. You're a psychopath. Fuck you. And the guy goes like, no, I'm not a psychopath. Let me prove you right. And Bruce goes like, fuck. That's the issue.
Just wanted to learn how to shoot things. Why I gotta do this now? I'm Italian Bruce Wayne, mamma mia.
Alfred, bring me the pizza.
Alfred, we gonna make it a lasagna today. Throw it in the Joker's face.
Now I'm just thinking of that one fucking Gothfield drawing. You know Gothfield?
A little bit, yeah.
Where they turned the hit comic strip character Garfield into a big titty goth girl.
Yeah, I know about that.
And she's eating lasagna, and she goes like, I love Olive Garden. I wish Italy was real.
Next comic.
Hey, guess what? I read Moon Knight issue number 12.
How was that?
It is the culmination of the fight with Zodiac.
Oh, nice.
Basically, Zodiac figures out their ruse, and he fucking hits Soldier, and he goes like, you fucking assholes! You idiots! Now I'm gonna kill you! You dumbasses! And, like, Moon Knight shows up and goes like, no, you're not. And it's like, God, how the fuck did you get here so soon? I used the link between life and death, and I traveled through there. And I am currently being chased by hundreds of zombie Moon Knights from the past. And now they're showing up and they're fighting all his mooks.
And then he gets a zombie cape like Doctor Strange.
No. They're fighting all that kind of stuff, and they go free the other hand of Khonshu. And they're like, how are we gonna deal with these zombies, guys? They look really mad. And the other guy goes like, hey, I know how to deal with them. And he starts speaking in like ancient Egyptian, and he goes like, hey guys, I know you got woken up, but hey, we appreciate you. We thank you for helping us out. But now, hey, we're sorry. Can you guys go back to where you're from and go to sleep? And they're like, yeah, we can do that. Sorry for being angry. We just got woken up and it's just very cranky. So they're back in the void. Meanwhile, Moon Knight and Zodiac are fighting all this kind of stuff. And then essentially somehow, some way, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, Moon Knight gets taken out for a second, and the vampire chick is like super pissed because he shot through her to like aim at Soldier. By like he was aiming at Soldier, she jumped in the way, but since it was like an adamantium tipped bullet, it went straight through her. So she's like really pissed at the guy and she wants to kill him. And he's going like, yeah, hell yeah, now you're acting like a real vampire. Even if I die, you're just going to be an actual, you're just going to kill me. And that's just going to taint your soul. And then Moon Knight fucking knocks him out and goes like, hey, you're not going to kill him. Hi, I'm Mark Spector. No, I'm not Mark Spector. Hi, I'm Stephen Grant. Because that's the first time we've actually seen Stephen Grant. In this 12-issue series, we've only seen Mark.
Oh.
So now Steven's here. And it's like, oh, this is neat.
Hey, buddy. Hey, pal.
Hey. Hey, New Mutants, number 26.
This was so much better than I thought it was gonna be!
It's Ileana dealing with her past trauma.
Yeah, this is the kind of shit I like. This is the kind of shit I'm in for. This is the kind of shit that makes my dick hard.
Meanwhile, Cyclops is looking for his sister. For what reason? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Things are happening.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, no, this is just a good expansion on the character that does some interesting stuff and leaves her in a new place that isn't frighteningly different like I thought it was going to be.
It's just basically, hey, you need to deal with your trauma. You need to help your older self. And you need to solve all these problems. Deal with yourself.
And here's a new soul sword, so we can sell a new figure of you.
Yeah. But overall, it's good.
Mm-hmm. And that new soul sword design is badass. I do want that figure.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want you to look at this thing right in the top left. This person in the shard, in the top left. I'm circling it with my mouse.
Is that fucking Lord Zed?
No. The fucking white thing in the shard. That looks like the fucking white woman ranger from Mystic Force.
Oh yeah, it does look a bit like Matchy Mother.
Alright. Hey, you read The Flash.
I sure did. Alright, so this is the first week where we properly have tie-ins to Dark Crisis.
Yeah.
This one's okay.
Okay. How's Wally and Wallace?
This is essentially not just Wally and Wallace, but the entire Flash family, plus Mr. Terrific, getting ready to go through the Speedverse multiforce bullshit to try and find Barry Allen again. You got Wally, you got Johnny Lightning, you got Jesse Quick, you got Wallace, and you got Jay. They're all there, all of them. And then Wally's kids show up with Linda, and they're like, "Hey, can we come too?" And he's like, "This is dangerous, guys. You gotta hang back." And then Linda's like, "Hey, I need to talk to you about a thing. Something big happened." And he's like, "Can it wait? This is kind of big too." And she's like, "Well," and then in the background, the kids are fucking with the controls, and they get sent for the multiverse. And he's like, "Shit, I gotta go after the kids. I'll talk to you later, honey. I promise I'll bring them back safe." And then that happens, and all the flashes go in, and then Linda's like, "Oh shit, I don't know if I can deal with this on my own for much longer." And he's like, "What, your speed powers?" And she's like, "Yeah." It's pretty obvious, just the way you were talking. You got speed powers, didn't you? Welcome to the family. We'll work it out as soon as we get them back, I promise.
Was it Jay that said that?
No, Mr. Terrific says that.
Oh, why is Mr. Terrific saying welcome to the family?
I guess he's tech support for the Flash family right now. He's just here. They don't explain it.
Is he talking like figuratively of like, hey, you're a superhero now?
Yeah, kinda, I guess. But I don't know. I've not read enough Comic Wally to know how I feel about his wife getting speed powers. Just that is a thing that's happening. We'll see.
All right.
But the kids get dumped out in an alternate universe. And
is it a dark multiverse?
it's a very dark multiverse because they look and oh man, there's Allen Tower and lightning is striking above it. What's going on with that? And then behind them, there's a Batman silhouette, but it's got a lightning bat symbol.
Oh my god, is it literally a dark multiverse where Batman became fucking the Flash?
I don't know. That's as much as we get. Because we then cut to a universe where Barry Allen is a Mad Max Flash, and Jesse Quick and Johnny Lightning have to chase him down.
Is this just a backdoor pilot for Enter the Flashverse?
This is just going to be some ridiculous multiverse Flash, because then they go to like a universe that's very, very classic Silver Age Flash shit, with like Barry and Wally being Wally's Kid Flash again, and they're chums, and he has to get up and leave his wife to go fight the Rogues, and then it just cuts back from like this big fun city fight to just Wally and Wallace going, "What the fuck is going on here?" And that's the end of the issue.
Overall, is it okay?
It's all right. I think it would be very fun if you're a Flash fan. I don't dislike the Flash, but I'm not a Flash fan. So I'm just like, oh man, I'm going to read all of this, huh?
Fake fan. Hey, we both read Amazing Spider-Man #4. This issue really picked up.
This was a lot of fun. I really like this. I like the big twist that's in the last issue. The first scene needs to go to hell and die. I'm sick of these random fan dick kicks with no explanation. Especially when the fucking character writing is off. Like, Mary Jane tells the kid that Black Cat is a friend from a long time ago. You do not describe 6 months to a little kid as a long time ago.
She may be talking figuratively, like in the metaphorical sense. It's like, oh, that was a lifetime ago. We're different. I'm a different person now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not how it came off, but that may be what they were trying to imply.
Possible, but like, no, I'm sick of that shit. Either just stop, ignore it, don't do that anymore. Have Mary Jane be doing something completely different when she comes back to the book, or just take a fucking issue to explain it already. That being said, the entire rest of this issue was great.
Yeah, which is basically Spider-Man trying to get out of the situation he's in and stop Tombstone from whatever his plan is. So he's fighting his way up the building in order
he's just raiding his way through this building.
Yeah. And like he gets up to the top and he goes like, "Oh man, they even got someone dressed up like the Rose to trick people." And he starts beating the Rose. He's going, "Spider-Man, why are you doing this?" And then he takes off his mask and he goes like, "Fuck, this was Richard Fisk. This was actually the Rose." And it's revealed
that the whole time, Tombstone just set Spider-Man up to take his competition out for him while he was making nice with Robbie Robertson.
All the threats he said to Spider-Man is like, "Oh yeah, no, but the boy's gonna die." It's just like, no. I just wanted you to be fucking angry because you'll kill the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just did it was to make you a better bullet. And look, you're a good bullet. You did your job.
I outsmarted you with my outsmarting, outsmarter.
And again, I really like White Rabbit's redesign. I appreciate White Rabbit's new look.
I don't care either way. It's fucking White Rabbit. But also, like, this... Goddamn, this might be the best Tombstone story ever written. I need to read some of his original appearances, granted, but, like, this is good shit.
This is good Tombstone.
Man, I would be fine if Wilson Fisk never came back to New York and Tombstone was just the new kingpin of crime after this. Because he's proven that he's smart enough.
Yeah, Tombstone's good. Hey, tell me about Perry White.
Alright, so they fucking tricked us. This is not a new series. This is a one-shot, and it's not even a full 22-page story. This is a, like, 10-page story with a... Or, I'm sorry, let me count it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of story of new material written by Matt Fraction. And then it's all reused Perry stories from recent years. And this is a one-shot.
Why?
Because of the novelty of that title, I guess.
Didn't actually do something.
And I mean, the short story is good. It seems like something Matt Fraction actually wanted to write. Like, he probably just, like, thought of this and was like, hey, guys, here's just a Perry White script I made. Do what you want with it. And they were like, we could make money with this. And it's fine. It's good. But, nah. Yes, we are streaming late.
We are streaming late because we got started late.
Sleep is for the weak. Supplex, I'm going to say, is how you say that name.
Yeah. So, would you suggest someone to read Perry White?
If you can get it in a dollar bin.
This week on Dragon Ball Z.
Fuck you.
You think I'm saying that as an insult?
Oh, hey, Briss. Briss is a friend of mine from the Endless Jest server.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yeah, Batman, Superman's world's finest. They're fighting Green Lantern.
And they have to fucking merge and do some cool shit.
Yeah, they literally do a Dragon Ball Z fusion. It's fun. It's a cool design.
And, like, I know that's the thing that you and Twitter probably lost it over in this. I was just like, holy shit, this is really good Supergirl characterization. Like, legit, I want Mark Waid to get a Supergirl mini now. Because fucking, she comes back and she's immediately on the ball of like, I don't care if there's a problem, I'm just going to force my way through to make sure the others know what's going on and we can take care of this issue. And I'm gonna be a big tough badass, even though I don't need to be. And it's like, yeah, that's Kara in a crisis situation. That's literally what Kara did in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
Mark Waid, you're good at Supergirl. Congratulations.
But yeah, no, they basically go like, hey, you know that big bad thing we need to seal away to solve the day? Well, we can seal it away permanently. But someone has to be in there with him. And it's just like, oh, it's self-sacrifice.
Yeah. What? I'm 2 minutes in and Vac is already talking about Supergirl. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Yep. Yeah, that's the show in the... You should have seen it when we were actually talking about a Supergirl book week to week. Month to month.
It's a good thing this show was never happening at the same time I was interested in the Supergirl show.
Oh, God.
It would have just been like... It would have just been 15 minutes of me screaming up front every week.
Bitching and moaning. And moaning. But overall, good, fun story.
Yeah. And more art, gorgeous as always.
Yeah. So I read the new Fantastic Four.
Not the all-new, all-different Fantastic Four?
Nope, just new Okay. So back in the 90s, they did a thing called the new Fantastic...
Back in the 90s, I was on a very thing...
Do you want me to mute you?
Go ahead. You're good.
Back in the 90s, they had this one storyline where Spider-Man, the Hulk, Ghost Rider, and Wolverine all had to become the Fantastic Four because the regular Fantastic Four were put out of commission. In this... A priest in Las Vegas is helping out a homeless community underneath in like a sewerage system, right? And it turns out that a demon has infiltrated that homeless community and is brainwashing them to be violent sociopaths. So the priest, who by the way is named John Priest.
Is that a thing? Am I supposed to recognize that?
No. It's just the fact that he's a priest and his name is Priest.
Ah.
It's it's funny.
Funny haha.
Yeah. He basically picks up a newspaper and sees the new Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, the Hulk, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and goes like, "Oh man, what I wouldn't give to have like a team like that to help me out." And then you cut to New York, and Spider-Man's swinging, and he lands on the Daily Bugle, and Wolverine's there, and he goes like, "Hey, bub, we need to go to Las Vegas." He's like, "Yeah, no, I feel like we need to go to Las Vegas. I don't know why." "Yeah, I don't know why either. It's bugging me. But Mr. Fix-It got us a plane, and we're gonna get on it, and we're gonna head to Las Vegas." And so they head to Las Vegas. They meet up with Mr. Fix-It and Ghost Rider, and they're like, "I don't know why I needed to grab you guys, but we do for some reason. So we're just gonna hang out till we figure out what we need to be doing." And so they drive a little bit, and they run into a bunch of fucking homeless people with pipes, just wrecking shit. And I go like, I think this is a problem we need to solve. So they all fucking get out to start fighting. Hulk immediately gets like, everyone just grabs the Hulk and starts climbing him. And he's like, "This is fucking weird. Normally they're afraid of me." And Wolverine pops his claws, and Spider-Man goes like, "Wolverine, you are not killing these people." "No." And Wolverine goes like, "But they're fucking attacking us." "No, no kill." Flip, ties up his claws, and he's like, "Raggle, fraggle, fine, have it your way." He starts punching people. And then Ghost Rider goes like, "Why are you guys not killing them?" "What?" "Oh my god, you don't see what I see." And you see through Ghost Rider's eyes, they're all demons. They all got possessed.
They're demons, Johnny.
They got possessed by demons. So the priest dude shows up and goes like, "Oh my god, you guys are here. I mean, I wish you guys would get here." And Wolverine goes like, "You fucking wished us here? How? I don't know." Okay, fuck. Where's the problem? What do we got to do to solve this shit? So they go back to the homeless people where they meet the demon who is inciting all the violence. And he goes like, "Holy fuck, you came here. Holy shit. Alright." And so, magically, Priest gets sent away. Wolverine, Spider-Man, and the Hulk get sent to the Baxter building and scare the Human Torch. And Ghost Rider's there alone. And that's the end of the issue. It's fun.
Alright.
Peter David's writing it. It's fun.
Are they just doing this as like a fill-in thing until the next Fantastic Four writer after Dan Slott is lined up?
Maybe. I don't know. Marvel's been doing this thing where they basically go to classic comics writers who are still active and go like, "Hey, do you just want to write a brand new mini story in your run?" And just like you place it wherever you want to do it, and it's just like more of that version of the character.
I mean, that's a good way of getting nostalgia bucks. That's a fairly healthy way of doing it.
Like they've been doing it with the Spider-Man Back in Black series.
Mm-hmm.
I have not touched any of them because Greg Land drew them.
Yeah, fuck Greg Land.
Do not like his art. But they've been doing it with Spider-Man. They're doing it with this, which, you know what? It's not a bad way. It's fun. If you enjoyed this era of comics, it's a fun little, like, hell yeah, it's back to basics.
All right.
I also read Punisher War Journal Blitz.
Blitz edition.
I think this is a one-shot. It's basically the Punisher turning the Hand into Antifa.
All right.
Because he's hunting down Hate Monger. And his main problem is, you kill people for hateful reasons. I kill people because they deserve it. You deserve it. Fuck you.
Alright, you asshole.
Like, you can like, he looks at the symbols that hate people do as like, this symbol is made to instill fear in everybody. My symbol is only meant to instill fear in those who deserve it. And it's just like, this is
about that. All right. Yeah,
this is about real life and how people are misusing the Punisher logo, thinking it makes them look badass. Okay. It's fine. Hey, tell me about Young Justice. Dark Crisis edition.
It sucked ass. This is the other Dark Crisis tie-in that's going to be ongoing, and it was, oh boy, all the characterization in this is bad. Well, that's not true. A lot of the characterization in this is pretty bad. And the art, just this art looks like it belongs on like a book you get for free at Burger King.
Ooh, that's a fucking insult right there.
Like, it's not terrible, but it's just flat and has no personality. That really bothered me throughout this.
You know what it reminds me? It reminds me of like a generic comic from 2006.
Exactly my point. And like, this whole thing is like narrated from Cassie Sandsmark's perspective, and it's like, oh, boo-hoo, everybody forgets about my generation of heroes and all my friends and Young Justice. We're real sad because the heroes that died mean something to us too. Except for Arrowette. Fuck Arrowette. She's a cunt and a skank because she stopped being a hero to go to college. She's got it easy. And she literally says that she doesn't have it easy at one point in the book. And Cassie is just like, fuck her. And I'm like, I haven't read a lot of the original Young Justice, but I don't remember them hating each other. What the fuck? And then there's like an alarm or something at the Hall of Justice, and the boys run off to deal with it, and they get mind whammied, I'm assuming, and wake up in an alternate reality where everything's nice. And Cassie's trying to work out the mystery, but Arrowette flakes on her, and she goes to the Flashes, and Wally's like, fuck off, I'm doing multiverse stuff. And then Dick is like kind of nice to her. Dick's like the one person in this whole fucking comic who seems like he's in character. He's like, Tim probably just took his death really hard. He does this sometimes where he'll go off the grid. I'm sure he'll turn up in a few days. Just give him space. And then she goes to John, and he's like, I don't even fucking know Connor all that much. Goodbye.
Even though he should be a brother figure to me.
Yeah. It's real bad, and you get the feeling that whoever wrote this was just told what DC wanted, or Joshua Williamson wanted the Young Justice to be doing during the event. And like, they only knew very basic facts about each of these characters. And I've got to read 3 more issues of this shit.
No, you got to read 5 more issues of this shit.
Fuck!
It's a 6-issue mini.
I don't like it.
Hey, guess what? I read Immortal X-Men.
I thought I read that too. Did I not send you the cover for it?
I don't remember. Did you send me the cover?
I did read that. I don't know if I sent you the cover. Let me check our DMs.
You might have sent me the cover, and I may have forgotten. I thought you dropped this.
No, I didn't send you the cover, but I haven't dropped this. I still find this pretty interesting.
Okay, so Destiny basically explains her shit.
Uh-huh. And it's essentially like, here is Destiny's character going forward.
I really like the idea that, like, I saw my future, and I saw if I stayed in the closet, I would be fucking miserable, and I would die an early death. But if I actually embrace my sexuality, I get to live happily with Mystique. So she chose Mystique. Which is nice.
Fair enough.
And basically, it explains the prophecies of Destiny. She has new prophecies, and she goes like, fuck, I need to write these down. And she's like, this will help us out, but in all of these futures, I don't see Mystique. That must mean she dies. And that fucking sucks.
Also, it's important to point out, one of the futures she sees, there's like a statue of Magneto, Apocalypse, and a Sentinel. One of the futures is Judgment Day, one of the futures is Sinister is controlling everybody.
Mm-hmm.
One of the futures is everybody is worshipping Exodus. And then one of the futures is Ileana turned evil and killed everybody.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's possible future event comics that we can do.
Mm-hmm. Also, we see a far-off future where Sinister is fighting a giant fucking Eternity-esque version of Exodus. And he's just like, fuck you, I gotta kill my Moira to reset the timeline so this doesn't happen.
And yeah, no, they realize, oh shit, he has a clone Moira.
Mm-hmm.
He can reset time whenever he wants.
Or no, Mystique and Destiny work that out. And they're like, alright, we gotta play this careful.
Yep. But yeah. This is getting intriguing. This is getting interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's the most Jonathan Hickman, a non-Jonathan Hickman X-Men book has felt like so far.
Also, it's revealed that Mystique tricked them all in order to restore Destiny.
Yeah.
And all of them are a little pissed about it. It's like, you fucking asshole.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you wouldn't give me my wife!
They're like, we get it, but also, god damn it.
Just because you're right doesn't mean we can't be angry.
Mm-hmm.
But then they get over it. It's just like, fuck, alright, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the last book? No, the last book is Rogue Sun. Hey, tell people about Roguey Sunny.
Hang on, I'm trying to bring it up. And also, I thought there was something I hadn't read. Alright, so Rogue Sun. Fuck you. Rogue Sun. I'm gonna fucking drive to Florida tonight. So... bitch say, aww. So in the last issue of Rogue Sun, we found out that his mom has superpowers, and oh, what the fuck's up with that? And we
What's the deal with parents having superpowers?
Yeah, and we basically, this issue, also she's wearing a very Doctor Doom-esque costume.
Oh no.
Yeah. And this issue, we basically flash way the fuck back to explain the past of the story, and it's the flashbacks are intercut, but I'll explain things in a linear fashion. How things went sour in the mom and dad's relationship from the mom's perspective. And we haven't even really gotten the dad's perspective yet. He's just kind of talked about it. But we haven't gotten flashbacks for him yet.
What's the deal with the mouse? I don't know. What's the deal with your face, Buster? Got him.
We see the kid's birth and like him being like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna commit to this. We're gonna be happy. We're gonna be together." And then it cuts forward like 3 or 4 years. She's up late one night with the baby, and he comes home, and she's like, What happened? You were gone for weeks. Are you all right?" And he's like, Yeah, but it's over. And she's like, "What the fuck? I've spent years being by your side, patching you up all the time, not ever complaining about being left alone for long periods of time, and now you're just leaving me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you at least going to tell me why?" "No, I'm an asshole piece of shit. Sorry." And then cuts forward to a couple weeks before the first issue, and the main character and the mom are having an argument, and he runs off, and the dad shows up, and he's like, as Rogue Sun, and he's like, "If you want, I could try being a dad for a little bit." And she's like, oh, now you want to be a dad. Oh, that's real fucking funny. After 16 years, you want to be a dad. Fuck off. And he's like, "I'm trying here. I don't want him to end up like me." And she's like, "Well, then stay the fuck away from him." And then we cut forward again, and because he goes, well, whether you like it or not, I'm gonna have to get involved with his life because it's clear that he's starting to make big mistakes, and that's gonna reflect poorly on me because I'm a big, rich, fancy man. And so she gets freaked out, And she goes to like one of the big bads of this universe and makes a deal with the devil to get magic powers to keep him away from their kid. She becomes a supervillain because she needs him to stay a deadbeat dad. And then we cut forward another week and we find out she's the one who killed him.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, there's literally a scene that takes place moments before that fight in the first issue where he's talking to, like, his rich wife and is like, yeah, it seems like a quiet night. I might come in. Or, oh, wait, there's a disturbance. I'm going to go check this out. And she's like, oh, be careful. And he's like, oh, don't worry. I always am. And then we see it's the mom in her fucking Doctor Doom outfit.
Neat.
And so cutting back to the present, I have to scroll to the top of the fucking issue. There's basically a big fucking fight of like the mom being like, you need to tell him to leave. You need to give me the gem. You need to get away from these powers, son. And the dad being like, don't trust her. Whatever she made a deal with to get these powers, it's clearly corrupting her mind. This isn't your mom. And he's like, well, both of you just shut up. And then the fucking, the lady he was fighting in the last issue comes back and he has to fight her again. And then the mom just fucking kills her because she's like, stay away from my boy. I needed you to get his attention, not kill him. And he's like, all right, this is super fucked. I don't know how to deal with this. I am gonna get out of here. And she's like, freak show, you're going nowhere. And that's the end of the issue. So, yes, I am reading it off my phone, Buster. And yes, you're right. This is some early Heisei Kamen Rider shit.
When are we gonna get to Reiwa?
I don't know. Ryan Parrott's been watching fucking Kiva or something.
Break my bidding, huh?
Get it high.
Hey,
you're just one and only.
Hey, guess what? That was comics for the week. Did you enjoy comics this week?
It was fairly mixed. I wish I hadn't agreed to read everything Dark Crisis because, good God, those books are fucking mid. The main series is good so far. Tie-ins are mid, but it's all right. It's a good week. I got good Ileana characterization. I got good Kara characterization. I got a great issue of Nightwing. I caught up on Wayne Family Adventures. Good week of comics. Good week of comics.
Because Vac is the DC boy, and he needs to read all the DC stuff for us to know the things.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. I've noticed that I'm starting to get asked questions like I have as much a comic book knowledge about DC that Boingo does about Marvel. And I'm like, God damn it, I guess I gotta be up on shit.
No, see, guys, you just gotta remember, my brain got hit by the Tism stick, and it was like Marvel. That's why I know all this shit.
Marvel's his hyper asphyxiation. That's why this show exists.
Fixation. I appreciate you trying to use appropriate lingo, though. Understand it, Obo.
Rogue Sun is just American Kiva. Yeah, Buster, and you can quote me on that on twitter.com.
/ fuck.
Yeah, that's my handle.
That's the handles. Hey, buddy, you want to tell the people where they can find you? Because this is the end of the podcast, everybody. We're done.
Yeah, show's over. I'm the Vacuuminator. You can find me immediately following this live stream in Boingo Riders Discord server. We're going to be watching AEW X NJWP Forbidden Door pay-per-view. But like, give me 10 minutes to get some drinks and piss and stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna both need a few minutes to start that. Hey, howdy. I'm a Boingo Rider. I'm a Boingo Rider, at least, at minimum. There are multiple. I'm at a Dutch angle. Don't ignore the Dutch angle. You've been ignoring it the whole time. I'm on twitch.tv /Boingo Rider. I'm also on...
It just looks like you're in an episode of, what's the fucking R.L. Stein shit? Goosebumps. You're in an episode of Goosebumps right now.
I'm also on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Boingo_Rider. And if you go on YouTube and search for Boingo Rider, you'll find some video essays by me. But in the meantime, this has been a podcast by Modular Media.
Sure has.
A Boingo Writer as opposed to the Boingo Writer. True. This is
Also,
one podcast.
Buster, I love how you show up for the last few minutes when we made a big deal about you not being here at the beginning.
Yeah. So, this is Modular Media. We have No Price Podcast. This is what podcast you've been listening to. We also have Components, where we talk about random bullshit throughout the week. We also have No More Games, where me and Buster talk about gaming news. And we also have This Week in Toku. Tell people about This Week in Toku.
We talk about tokusatsu. We talk about tokusatsu news. We talk about new tokusatsu episodes. We try to talk about old tokusatsu episodes. But I've had a very busy, very weird month, and I haven't had a lot of time to watch Kamen Rider Black, alright? Get off my ass!
Alright. Hey, subscribe to Modular Media.
Yeah,
give us a like. Put some comments down. It'll help us out. It's nice. It's friendly. It's hunky. It's Dory.
It's not Finding Dory, though. No,
it's not Finding Dory. But hey, that's it for Modular Media's No Price Podcast. AV Dog, AV Boy, V Man. Any final words?
Okay, so I have no proof on this, but I just realized after discussing this week's issue of Nightwing, Tom Taylor is probably setting up to do a wedding issue of Nightwing and Batgirl. They're going to do that. They're going to try and sell some books.
Enough said. Why can't they be in a polycule with Starfire?
I don't know. That's what I want.
Enough said.